Hi, Elise Dewsberry here, Artistic Director at New Musicals Inc., with another installment of my video blog, How to Get No Feedback from Elise. So recently I've been working on a little mini-series of assignments where I actually give you something that I want you to take home and work on your own musical, just some little tidbit to take a look at. And these are all areas that often come up in my feedback, and it's a way for you to go and check and see, are these going to be triggers and is there something you can do about it. The first month it was about character diction, about taking a pass through your musical once per character to make sure that every single line that they speak or sing is unique to them, to their syntax, to their grammar, to their regionalisms, their mood, all of that sort of thing, their sense of humor. The next month I talked about character identification, which is making sure that you decide exactly when you want your audience to know what about your character. When and if do they need to know your character's name, their relationship to other people on the stage, in the show, and their occupation, things of that nature. And have you accomplished that when you need to in your script, or have you just written it in a stage direction? So I'm encouraging you not to be lulled into a false sense of security thinking that you have delivered that information when you have only put it in the stage direction and not actually delivered it in text that your audience will get to experience. Then I spoke about transitions, taking a look at the end of each scene and the beginning of the next and making sure that it's actually physically, logistically possible for your actors to accomplish the scene change that you are asking for. To get from one place to another, to change clothes, all that sort of thing, and what is and isn't possible in the highly cinematic world, but not completely cinematic world of modern musicals. This month I'm going to ask you to take a look in your musical at what happens immediately after any given song. So, go to the end of a song and take a look at what happens next. Quite often it's going to be a new scene. Quite often a song ends a scene and you start a brand new scene. But often not the case. Often there's a little bit of a continuation of a scene, or at least a little bit of a dialogue after a scene, and I want you to look at that. I want you to look at both instances. What I want you to look for is compare the characters where they are once the song is over to where they were before the song started. So that would be the first thing to do. Take a look at before and after the song. Remove the song, take a look at it, and say to yourself, could my characters be saying the same things that they're currently saying at the end of the song? Could it go from the beginning of the song to the end of the song without the lyric, and I wouldn't miss anything in terms of character development, plot development, anything of that nature? If that's the case, ruh-roh, take a look at that and figure out, what was that song supposed to accomplish? What changes should have happened to my character? A change in mood, a decision having been made, a new plot point, a revelation, an epiphany. What happened during that song, and are you positive that it is being reflected in what comes right after the song? Have they changed? And even if the next thing is a new scene, then if the characters involved in the song aren't in that scene, then look ahead to the next scene that those characters are in and make sure that they have somehow been affected by what happened in that song. The other thing to look at is, think about if there's a small beat where the characters who were involved in the song are talking right after the song. Could that beat be contained in the song? Do we need it after the song? Or should it have been contained in the song? Now, to contain a beat in a song can be done a couple of different ways. Obviously, you could incorporate it into the lyric and make it actually part of the song, or you could shift some of the dialogue, a portion of the dialogue, into the song near the end, like right before the last phrase or right before the last A. There are a couple of main reasons. First of all, because the main reason is that when a song is over, and presumably you get applause, that isn't always what you want, what you're going for, but let's just assume that there's going to be some applause at the end of the song. Our audience is now primed to start something new. They don't want to be in the same beat that they were in before. And in particular, they don't want there to be just a little bit left of the beat that they just applauded. And now we have a little bit more and then the scene changes. It's very difficult for them to get their engine going again as an audience. So what you want to do is make sure that after a song we're moving into a new beat. That doesn't necessarily mean a new scene. It doesn't have to be a new scene, but it definitely should be a new beat. It should be something that was not dealt with in the song and that incorporates the change that has come about because of the song, no matter how subtle that change is. So if you do have a little bit of dialogue that you feel you want your characters to say, but it isn't really a new beat, then see if you can get it inserted into the song. If that means opening up a few bars of underscoring before the final A, before a little coda reprise, so that it's still part of the song, so that the beat still ends with the end of the song and potentially the applause that comes from that. And even if you are going to continue the scene after the song is over, we move into a new beat that is informed by whatever change has occurred during the song. What decision has your character made? What new confidence do they have? What epiphany have they come to? What confrontation have they just gone through? Whatever comes next should be a new beat that is informed by what happened in the song. So go into your musical and take a look at what happens immediately after every song you've written and put it through that test and make sure that it is accomplishing all of those things. And then come back next month for your next assignment. Thanks and toodaloo.